And then watching it, I just like was just like, oh no. It's like watching Jaws. Like, you know, before watching the movie, you know some girl's gonna get her head bit off by a shark. And that was like me going into it. It's like I knew what was gonna happen, but I just like was scared to watch it.
Hey guys, it's Mimi. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new, and I have a very special guest today. I'm here with Bee from Provo's Most Eligible Season 2, aka the Queen Bee, aka like
You're
the
so
most
sweet.
adorable. No, you guys, we've been talking before this too, and she is like the sweetest, easiest to talk to person ever. So excited for this video. We're gonna get some tea.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Guys, I've brewed so much tea. I'm so ready to pour it.
I put a question sticker on my Instagram story with questions that you guys have for Bee. So if you aren't following me on Instagram, I definitely recommend it because I'll be interviewing more people in the future too. But I'm just gonna read through some of the questions you guys gave and then some questions that I have for Bee, and we'll just see.
Perfect. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, no, thanks for
responding
coming.
to my DM. I slid so hard.
First thing that I want to ask you is what made you want to audition for Provo's Most Eligible, and what was the audition process like?
Ellie, Lauren, and I all have kind of a different story of how we like got into season 2. Mine was that they like kind of like found me. So they had already found Lauren and already found Ellie.
Okay.
And like they look pretty similar.
They do.
And so they were just trying to find someone who was demographically kind of different so that they could have like a wider variety. I mean, I know like 3 white girls isn't that diverse, but like, you know, like
but different
trying to find somebody with a different personality as well. Like they were just trying to find their token fun blonde, right? And so I had a mutual friend with McKenna from last year. They were like talking one day, and I guess McKenna had brought up that they were like trying to find the 3rd Bachelorette, and my friend Annie suggested me, and so then McKenna like looked me up and she messaged me and she's like, I think you would be perfect, like would you be interested in interviewing? And I was like, oh dang. It was like a haha JK unless situation where I was like, no, that's too crazy. And then I was like, oh my gosh, but is it? Like started like teetering with the idea, and I was like one interview won't hurt. I was like, what's one interview? Like, let's just go. So I went, and they like were kind of trying to pitch it to me, and then I kind of had the interview, and it went well, and they're like, okay, well, we'd like to interview a second time. So I went to the interview the second time, and they're like, okay, well, I think it's pretty unanimous, like we love you, like we want you to be on the show. Oh my god. But we were having like it was scary because I was not in charge of my work schedule for the first like 3 months of the summer, and so we just like we were all praying at the sunset, but like Remington literally did not eat for 3 weeks. We were all praying and fasting that it would work out, and it did. Somehow miraculously it did.
I want to ask you about some of like the first impressions you had with the guys. Do you have any first impressions with guys that turned out to be completely false?
Yeah. What a lot of people don't know is that we actually, on the first episode when we're swiping on their profiles, that was like actually not the first time that we saw pictures of them or learned about them. We had a meeting like the weekend before where we got to see all their pictures and learn just a little bit about them. And that was so that logistically on Monday when we went to swipe, we already had an idea of who we wanted to swipe on. Right. But we didn't know who was going to be swiping back on us. So that part was still like a mystery, but we had to kind of like recreate our like first impressions of people. Totally. But when I saw Eric's picture, like I was like, I just melted. Like have you seen the kid? Are you kidding me? So I was like super excited to meet him. And so that's why, but he had like swiped on Ellie, and so they matched. Right. But I made sure to like pull him aside at the end of the first episode to meet him. So he was the one I was like most pumped to meet in person. I was also really excited about Josue, and I was excited about Keaton because Lauren knew him beforehand, and so she kind of like told me about him, and she's like, I think you guys would like look good together and stuff like that.
Oh, cute. She knew what we're all seeing now.
I know. What's so funny is we all thought that Ellie was gonna like Walker and Walker was gonna like Ellie.
No way.
Yeah.
Like why?
I don't know if it was like an age thing or like the way that they look.
I could actually kind of see it, like just like not knowing their personalities but just seeing their pictures. Yeah. I could kind of see them together.
Okay, here's a huge honesty moment.
Okay, let's hear it.
I never talked about this on the show.
Okay.
I talked about it with Walker. I did say on the show that I never got asked out my whole freshman year. And like in high school, I went on a lot of I went to like a lot of dances and dates and stuff like that, but I never dated anybody. Like the people I and it was never reciprocated, or like the people who were interested in me, I wasn't interested in them. And then I don't know, I like had a second puberty or something, because I just like started to like grow up a little bit more, and I started to look a little bit different, and I experimented with different hair colors. Apparently it worked out for me, because sophomore year I just like started getting asked out a lot more. But I kind of had this like ugly duckling mindset where like when I see guys like Walker, who they're like the, you know, like the Troy Bolton type, like, you know, that totally. they could get any girl they wanted, like they're super charismatic. They've probably always been attractive.
They just have never had the problem of like rejection.
They don't know what exactly. So I was still in the mindset of like, someone like Walker would never like me. It never even crossed my mind to like pursue that, because I just, in my mind I was like, he would never like me. I'm not, and I'm not his type. Like, he's not my type, I'm not his type. Yeah. But they like encouraged me to swipe on him, and so I was like, okay. And for whatever reason, like, he was really he was interested, and that shocked us all, because like we all thought that he and Ellie would make a cute
oh my gosh pair. That is so funny.
Another one is Caleb. Like the first time I met him, so he never came to like talk to me or meet me like on that first night, which is like fine, which is totally fine. But like I walked past him one time, and I think he was just like kind of off in his own world, because I like tried to say hi and acknowledge him, and I felt like he kind of like blew me off a little bit, and I just like, he just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I just thought he was kind of like a jerk. I didn't know him, and I kind of read the situation wrong, and it was like a long day, but I was just kind of like, sorry to anyways, but like completely wrong. Like he is such a genuine sweet guy. He just is different. He's not as like those big group date settings, like that just like wasn't his scene. Totally. Like, and you can tell from watching, he's a way more like, he's like mellow. He seems like more serious to me. I can see now how that like wasn't rude of him at all. So that was someone I was like super wrong about too. Also Mikey, we all thought he was just gonna be the biggest like tool bro. Oh my gosh, he's so funny. He has been nothing but a sweetheart to me. And he like seriously treated Ellie like a princess.
Yeah, I think we were all so sad when he left.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get why, because obviously Ellie didn't like him and didn't want to lead him on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's hard, because we like, we love these people, but we also need to remember, like, in a relationship, both people need to feel romantic things for the other people, and they both need to be committed. And so, like, we love these people and we want them to find happiness, but, like, we just need to remember, like, sometimes it's not with me.
And it's not up to the viewers. I mean, it's up to the people in the relationship, and we don't get to see everything. That's actually something I wanted to ask you, because I filmed with Lauren, and she said she actually did spend quite a bit of time with her guys outside of filming. Is that something that you also did? Did you ever see people?
No, we weren't allowed to.
I know, she said it was against the rules.
Super against the rules. My personality type is like, I have issues with authority. I don't like getting in trouble. Like,
oh my gosh, no, I'm the same.
I was a girl in elementary school, would start crying. Actually, at work, even now, like as a 23-year-old, like I get yelled at or something, I'll start to cry.
No, that's
and I just like felt very indebted to the producers, because they my work schedule was really like difficult, and they worked with me so much. So I just felt like more of a sense of obligation to
keep all the rules,
try and keep the rules. It got to the point where towards the end, I mean, like I would talk to the guys over Instagram and stuff like that. So I still kind of like got to know them, but I didn't get to spend time with them until like the last like little bit, when producers were like, okay, it's fine. And like, I mean, there was like one time where I like saw Walker outside towards the end before they gave us like the final go ahead. But at that point, I felt like I was at such a disadvantage, and so I just like was like, I want to spend time with these guys. So I kind of like, I kind of broke the rules one time.
When it was not even like a big deal anymore.
And then like the next day after, they told us we could start.
Okay.
Because the plan was always to let us start hanging out with them outside the show towards the end, by like week 4 or something like that. And honestly, it made some of the guys mad. Like, because,
really?
Yeah, because they were like, we want to like hang out with you. Walker.
Yeah.
Walker invited me to do so many things outside, and I was like, stop making this harder on me. He just wanted to
see you. So it was good intentions.
Yeah.
I wonder then, because I know Lauren talked about hanging out with Austin outside of the show, but while he was still on your team,
Yeah.
do you feel like that, like, affected your guys' relationship?
Yeah, I mean, I do, because I guess Lauren didn't know this at the time, like, she just recently found out, but, like, I was, like, interested in Austin. Like, I had already established foundations with Walker and Keaton, but I remember when I finally got the chance to, like, spend time with Austin, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you're hilarious. Like, you are so fun. And I felt like I jived with him really well. I felt like I was at a disadvantage because I wanted to get to know them, and I, like, didn't make opportunities to see them outside of the show to further that. So I kind of feel like I didn't get as much time with the guys until the end, but
Gotcha.
I mean, it all worked out. Like,
how are you and Lauren? Like, is your guys' relationship now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, it was definitely, like, strained during the show. Like, we, like, never, like, sent nasty texts or fought or anything like that, but there was definitely, like, tension. But I feel like once I got really into my guys and she got really into her guys, like, there wasn't as much, like, awkward, like, overlap, I guess. And so things, like, were fine. And me, Ellie, and Lauren have, like, no matter what has happened, we are always going to have this bond because we are the only other people who knows who understand what we went through. And I, like, really appreciate that about them, that, like I know that somebody else, like, gets where I'm coming from.
Exactly.
But I don't think that we aren't all super close. And another reason that is because, again, towards the end, we started really honing in on our guys, and, like, in the beginning of the process we had a lot more, like, promos and shoots and filming before we even met the guys together. So we spent a lot of time together in the beginning, and then we spent less and less time together as the show went on because we started developing deeper relationships. So and I do think we are all really different. So I don't know if we would be super close
if you guys just met in a different way.
If we met, we're not all, like, best friends, but I feel like I'm happy. I feel like I'm happy with how things are, and I'm really grateful, like, that they're, like, in my life.
What was it like rewatching the moment where you stepped forward on Jake and didn't notice when Lauren did? Because I feel like that was, oh man.
Terrible for everybody.
I just can't even imagine.
Crawl into a deep
I feel like you handled it well. It was just a really uncomfortable situation.
I have to show you a screenshot that my friend sent me.
I feel like Lauren looks so smug.
Maybe I'm sure that's taken out of context a little bit, but, like, it was just, like, a quick screenshot.
Funny. I feel like Ellie's face during the whole thing too was, like, the
she was just
thing.
Like I just, like, you know that internally she's just, like, slowly backing out, like, I cannot get in the middle of this. So rewatching it was, like, I was anxious and kind of nervous because it was, like, leading up to it. Like, I knew what was gonna happen, but I couldn't remember the order, so I didn't know when. And then watching it, I just, like, was just like, oh no. It's like watching Jaws. Like, you know, before watching the movie, you know some girl's gonna get her head bit off by a shark. And that was, like, me going into it. It's like I knew what was going to happen, but I just, like, was scared to watch it. I just remember how dumb I felt. I felt so dumb.
That was so not your fault, though. Like, you didn't think she was going to step forward. It was like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like nobody was like, Bee's such an idiot because that happened. I feel like they were all just like, oh my gosh, like, and it was hard because you probably weren't, well, I don't know how close you were with Jake before, but I was like, it was still pretty early on. I was like, she probably would have been, like, maybe more okay with the whole situation, but because you both stepped up and you didn't see, that just made it worse.
Yeah, so it was more of, like, a blindside. Yeah, so we had only had 1 week together, so, like, I wasn't really attached to anybody.
You weren't, like,
quite
heartbroken.
Yet. No. But I had come straight, that was one of the days where I came straight from work, and so everybody had already been there for an hour and a half before I got there. So I had 2 minutes with, like, a select few guys, and so I had no idea that they went on the job. I had no idea that they were even interested in each other.
What? That's
like,
crazy.
And
how did you choose who you wanted to talk to that night? Just
because I had so much fun with I wanted on my team because I had so much fun with them the week before, and I wanted, I think it was Austin, because at the group date the week before is when I was like, oh my gosh, wait, this kid's hilarious, he's so cool. And so I was like, okay, I want Team B and Austin, and so they just, like, grabbed them all, and I got a couple minutes with them. So I just didn't know. And, like, if you watch episode 1, Jake seems, like, very into me. Like, it seems like we clicked really well. It should have crossed my mind that none of these guys were, like, on lockdown. Josue I could see a little bit more because, like, he had swiped with Ellie, but yeah. But I had taken him on the one-on-one date, so I thought, and it went well. So I thought
that's what I was wondering too. How did you choose who you went on like the one-on-ones with?
So I knew, like, it's pretty obvious that I was into Keaton from, like, we had a really good first connection. But I had told him at the first ceremony that, like, he was my top pick, and I heard that he had told other people, and I was like, this kid thinks he has it in the bag. And I was like, no, I'm not taking him on the first date. Like, we're gonna put him right back in his place where he belongs. Because it only been 1 week.
You did that.
Oh, yeah. 1 week.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing is, like, I knew the date, and I wanted to save something a little bit later on for Keaton.
Okay, got it.
With the other guys, it just, like, wasn't quite as, like, strong and short and there. Mm-hmm. And so I was going to pick one of those guys to take on the first one-on-one date. So I picked Josue because I was like, I want to see if there's something there.
Okay.
So that I know if I want to keep him or know if I want to send him. Like, I knew I wanted the other ones. Right. So I was like, it was more of, like, a strategy to make the decision. And I went on the date, and it went great. So I was like, great, I want to, like, keep him around. And so that's kind of how I chose Josue.
Next question. I don't know where this came from, but someone asked me a question to ask you, and I guess in an interview or something, Austin said that you weren't churchy enough for him. What's your take on that?
Austin said that I wasn't churchy. I don't know. I don't know where he said that. I think that's fun. I think that's kind of funny. I guess that me and him have a different perspective and a different approach to what living a churchy life means. It's probably because I, like, swear, or, like, I had mentioned that, like, I've, like gone to the gas station to get, like, Coke on a Sunday, or, you know, something like that. My approach is not like rationalizing anything, but I just think that the way that I grew up and the way I choose to live my life has a lot of focus and stress on learning certain attributes and habits, and other things I put a lot less emphasis on. Right. So some of those, like, easy to spot, that, like, cursing and things like that, which I should work on, but those are just, like, not the things that I put as much stress on. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes that does come off as like, maybe less churchy, but
in reality, you look at it, and like we were talking off camera too about this, and just because those are the things that are easiest to spot and pick out, it does not mean that they are at the utmost importance. The most important things are who you are inside and how you are living your life. And I feel like people in Provo especially are so quick to judge on things that are easy to spot out, or things that are standards that are, like, black and white. So you can say, oh, this, she is or isn't doing this, but in reality,
rather
it's
than,
not
like,
the focus.
Where's their heart, and are they using their time and energy and skills to do what Christ would do? And so, I mean, people are going to have their opinion, and that's fine. And if we have different approaches to this sort of, like, aspect of our lifestyle, then I think that we were never going to be a good fit. And that's totally fine. But at the end of the day, I feel incredibly comfortable with my relationship with my Savior, and I feel good. I mean, I'm not perfect, and I can tell you about 15,000 things right now that I need to be better about, but at the end of the day, I feel comfortable going to bed at night knowing how I lived my life that day. So,
and just talking to Bee, you guys, like, she is seriously one of the most, like, and I'm not just saying that because she's right here, but seriously, just talking to her this brief time we've been together, like, off camera, she is one of the most genuine and honest people I think I've ever met. And I can tell, like, I don't know how everything comes across in this show and everyone can make their assumptions, but she's trying to be like Christ, and she puts other people before her, and you can say what you want based on things that you see. Emotional. No, stop, don't cry, but seriously, like, not everything is always what it seems, and just knowing that I know her and I met her and I've been talking to her, she is a good person. So just putting that out there, seriously, you're incredible. And she's a role model to me and how to just live your life for yourself and for Christ. So anyway, thank you. Thank you for being you.
Okay. I don't know how to say thank you enough. That was, like, the kindest thing you could have literally possibly said to me. So,
oh my gosh, stop. I'm so great.
Okay, moving on.
Next question is there anyone you regret not putting on your team or getting out, like, too early?
Yes. Well, yes and no. Given the information that I had, I don't regret anything that I did. Now that I go back and watch it and know certain things. I wish that I could have visited myself, like my future self, gone back and been a little birdie in the ear, like, oh, you should really give this person another chance. And one of them was Tanner. Tanner was the pink suit, son of a biscuit guy in the rollerblades.
So funny. Lauren said the exact same thing about him too.
We only met him for like 2 seconds, and so we didn't have as much of a time to like get to know him. But he was like my next pick if I could have had like 7 guys. And I even told him that I was like, oh, and I feel so bad because I shouldn't have said anything in the beginning, but me and my loud mouth, like I felt so bad. And I was like, when I was saying bye to them after he got eliminated, I was like, this was so hard, like I wanted to keep you so bad. He's like, why would you tell me that? I'm like, you're right, I'm so sorry, I'm an idiot, I'm so sorry, I'm an idiot. And I like genuinely felt bad the rest of the night because I was like, why? I just like made that so much worse for him. But who knows, like I had no idea he was so funny. And I think that we would have clicked better than other people I had initially kept, but I didn't know that at the time, and I had only met like him for, you know.
It's crazy you guys had to make that decision with so little time with them.
Well, and that's the thing is like they walked in and we like genuinely were like, oh, did I even meet that guy? Because
my gosh,
so many people so quickly. So yeah, I do wish that we had had more time with Tanner. I think he would have been so much fun.
Next question I have for you. This is a good one. Do you feel like everyone is being accurately depicted?
No. I think that okay, here's a good example. Is like Walker comes off so much more of like a super into himself kind of like tool, and he was actually like off camera he would like have this really like nervous laugh around me, and he was just like sweet and really thoughtful, and like he would like message me after days that were hard, and he's like, hey, and just like encouraging things, and like he made me feel like so taken care of. I don't know why he comes off so different on camera, and then like the editing and stuff like that, so you don't really get that. But and I wonder if people wonder why he's made it this far. You just don't see a lot of those like more endearing qualities. You see a lot of his like goofy, self-absorbed like jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I feel like people thought the same exact thing with Ben. They were like, why is Ben still even on this? But then come to find out you guys didn't even know what he was saying.
We didn't even know. Like, okay, but one thing about that, yeah, we had no idea for starters. But the other thing is like he made an Instagram story where he's like, I embellished a little bit like for the sake of the drama, but everything that I said I meant. And I was like, we were thinking he was just playing the villain, just like for fun, for kicks and gigs, but like,
I thought.
Wait, genuinely, like he meant all those things. I was like, oh gosh, like, okay. Another one is people always ask me, is Scott really like that? Yes, he is. He genuinely is, but he's a sweet, gentlemanly guy. So he was a lot of fun to have around.
I feel like if someone was just watching it without knowing him, like me, I could be like, he is playing a character.
Yeah.
Like I saw a comment, I laughed so hard. It was like, still waiting for the episode where Scott forgets to do his accent.
Yes. Where he like slips up or something.
Yeah.
No. Legitimate, 24/7. That's all we heard.
Did you gain any additional like perspective while watching the show? Because like everything comes across a certain way, and you viewed it a certain way when you were there. Like, how has that been looking back?
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's such a good question, and this is great because this is something that I kind of like wanted to talk about. I don't regret anything that I did because I feel good about the decisions that I made based on the information and knowledge and experiences that I had at the time.
Love that.
That being said, like one of my favorite parts, but also kind of like one of the like hardest parts is like watching the we never got to see the interviews. The guys' interviews. So like they would say the sweetest things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea, but like so sweet. Or like Austin said he's like, I don't think I'd want to be on Bee's team. And then I choose him that episode, and I had like no idea.
Yeah.
You know, and so I definitely get like you guys know things like watching it that we didn't even know like in real time, like in the moment. So that has like broadened my perspective a lot. Another thing is just like having had the show end but have us all be still like close and interacting. I've had more experiences with these people, and outside of like a 6 weeks period where they were trying to date us. So not to say that they acted differently, but it wasn't like...
It was a different environment.
It was a different environment. Yeah, exactly. Like, of course guys are gonna act a certain way when they're trying to, like, get you to pick them instead of somebody else, you know? And so the more time and then seeing, like, their interviews and just, like, getting to know them a little bit more off of everything has not completely changed, but it's really helped put pieces together. It's been fun. It's also been kind of like, I wonder what would have happened if this had been different. That being said, like I said, I don't regret anything. And that's life, you know? Yeah. Like, you make decisions and you have to live with them and you have to live with the consequences. And that's okay because you have to learn somehow.
What has been, like, your favorite thing that you've gained from this whole experience?
I have learned things through this whole process that I don't know if I ever would have learned had I not been placed in these unique circumstances. And I feel like I grew so much as a person. I learned way more interpersonal skills, how to deal with tough situations that I've never been in before.
Right.
I learned more about myself in that, what do I want? What am I looking for in a person? And what am I willing to compromise on? What am I willing to sacrifice for? And what am I willing to, like, stand my ground on? And, like, probably the biggest thing is just, like, watching myself. I was really proud of the ways I handled certain things. And I learned a lot from how everything went down and how I feel like best case scenario, how things should have gone. But I think I just learned that, like, I'm a tough cookie and I need to continually be trying to make myself better so that I can expect the same in other people and that I should expect the same in other people. So I think I just, like, became a little bit more secure and comfortable in who I am, what I want, and what it's going to take to get it. So
I'm so happy. I'm so glad that you were able to take that from this experience. And we obviously enjoy it. We enjoy watching and it's entertaining for us, but, like, knowing that it was also fulfilling for you personally and into that depth, that brings so much happiness to me.
Thank you.
You're just amazing. I love this girl so much. If you're not following her on everything, you should. Her Instagram is
so it's BEE, like the bug, _ and then my last name is Norwegian, so good luck. It's EIDE.
How do you say it?
Eide.
Eide.
Well, it's actually like Eide, but we say Eide in America. So yeah, and that's also my Twitter handle. Thank you again for having me on the show, because this was, like, good stuff that I've always, like, wanted. This is the 5th time that we've hugged on camera. It's fun.
I know.
We're cute.
I love her.
I'm happy I'm able to share these things about it that, like, didn't, like, as raw and real, like, of my experience that might not make it in, like, the final cut. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on. We have a couple more Provo's Most Eligible videos coming out. There's only a couple episodes left, so if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss. We do reactions after every single episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.